Hi. Excel has a very rich collection of functions for accounting. Now, sometimes we may have a requirement to generate random numbers. As such, for several calculations, we need to round off several numbers. It's done very easily under math category. The calculation of parameters is really cumbersome and time consuming in statistics. In Excel, it is done just like that. Let us see. Hi, in this video, uh, we are going to look at some more functions. Those who haven't seen my previous video on functions on date and time and text, please go through the previous video. Although it's not linked, but Excel has got several functions, and it is good to know most of the functions which are very commonly used. So here we are going to look at three categories. One is financial functions, one is math functions, and one is statistical functions. In financial functions, although there are several such functions, I'm going to cover three important functions. One is present value, one is future value, and one is payment. Present value is something equivalent to a loan amount. Future value is some money which you might get if you keep saving some fixed amount in every interval. And payment is an equivalent to our installment. Okay, it could be monthly or quarterly installment. So popularly we call it EMI when we pay a monthly basis. So that is what is PMT function. In maths, also there are several functions. However, commonly used functions are rounding of decimal numbers. There are three different functions for rounding of decimal numbers. And then we are going to take a look at random number generators. So there are two functions which are pretty useful for generating random numbers. In statistics, we'll take a look at mean, mode, median, average, and variance and standard deviation. Okay. Those of you who are familiar with statistics, they'll find it very useful because they are very easy functions and you get these parameters quickly. All right, let us then move on to financial functions. All right, here we can see in this table, the first column is function, PV is present value, FV is future value, and payment is the equivalent to EMI. Okay. The use of function is shown here. PV is for getting a loan amount. That means to find out the loan amount for a given period of time and a rate of interest with which bank has given you loan and equated monthly installment, right? Then future value is to get the net amount which you will get with a, that means we are saving here every month we are saving certain amount, and obviously the agency will give you money back with certain rate of interest after a given period. So how much money you will get at the end of your term is given as future value. And PMT, as I explained, is nothing but the equated monthly installment, okay, for a given amount and period and loan. Okay. All right. Now, uh, here is a data set for the present value. Okay, this is the data set for present value. This is the data set for future value. And this is the data set for EMI or payment. Okay, let us take a look at the formula first. They are pretty simple and straightforward formulas. So only thing is that terminology may be slightly different. Okay, you need to get familiar with that terminology. Okay, so here is where the formula is used. So I am putting it over here. Okay, so the first uh, argument in this function is uh, rate of interest. Okay, sorry, let me click here. First argument is rate of interest. Only thing to be understood here is the rate of interest is given here is 0.09, that means 9%. But if we are paying the installments at periods of 1 month, so it is called NPER. NPR is number of periods. Okay, so if number of periods are in months, then you must find out the interest also per month, and the given rate of interest is 9%. Okay, given rate of interest is 9%. So you divide it by 12. So what you write here in the formula is G4 by 12. Then come put a comma, and second argument is NPR, that means how many periods. Okay, so we want to pay back the loan in 5 years, and since it is the periods are per month, so 12 into 5 is shown as 60 here. So 60 months. So you are going to pay back the loan in 60 months. Okay, and the last one is the payment. Okay, last one is the payment. That means what? That means how much EMI you're going to pay. So suppose I wish to take a loan for 5 years, that means 60 months, and I pay 12,000 rupees per month as EMI. How much loan I can get, because I get the loan just now at this moment. So therefore it is called present value. So that's how it is, a simple straightforward formula. I'll just enter over here and you can find out now that I can get, uh, if I continue paying 12,000 rupees for 60 months, okay, if I agree to pay 12,000 rupees for 60 months and the rate of interest is 9%, okay, so I can get 5,78,080 rupees. Okay, so let's say we are going to get around 6 lakhs. Okay, so this is the loan amount you can get, and that is the formula for present value. The others are exactly similar, so we'll just take a look at it. This is future value. The terms used are exactly same, so we'll come here and look at the first term, which is the rate of interest. Here you can see 7%, so we divide it by 12, put a comma, and the next one is the period. Here is also 60 months. That means the rate of interest is 7%, and you keep paying, or you keep saving for a period of 60 months, and how much money you save is the payment you make. So you keep paying 10,000 every month. So how much money you will get at the end of the term, at the end of 60 months, how much money you will get? That is what is known as future value, or FV. So let's enter here and you can see, if you keep giving 10,000 rupees for 60 months, you are going to get 7,15,929. Okay, this formula is for payment, where which is going to work out. It is going to work out the EMI for you. All right. Also same way, first is rate of interest. So it is 9%. So 9% means 0.09 divided by 12. And then next argument is 60 months. That is the NPR, number of periods. Okay, 60 months. And the last one is the loan amount. Okay, that means now I have taken a loan of 6 lakhs rupees, and I'm going to pay it back in 60 months, and the rate of interest the bank is going to charge me is 9%. So what is my EMI? How much do I have to pay per month is given over here in red, and also minus. That is the format which is used in financial functions, as I have explained over here. If you take it as money going out from you, you are paying here, right? So your money is going out from you, therefore it is shown as minus. If it is money coming to you, it will be shown as plus. Okay, that's it. So 12,455 rupees you pay every month. Okay, if you take a loan of 6 lakhs and plan to pay back in 60 months. That's it. I think these are pretty useful formula. And with that, we will move on to formula in maths. Okay. Now, here the first column shows the function. First one is rand for random number. Okay. And second one is rand between, that is random number between one value and the other value. And third function is round up, that means round it to the upper value. Then round down is round it to the lower value. Obviously, rounding is done for decimal number. Suppose decimal number taken here is 123.432. We want to round it off. So how will it get rounded off to a higher value or to a lower value? Okay, to a certain number of digits is done by all these three functions. Okay, last function is sum product. It's a special function. We'll take a look at it. Special function means when uh, there are two ranges. Here the ranges are shown over here. Okay, here. So if you look at the ranges over here, let me move it to the other cell. Okay, if you take a look at the ranges over here, quantities are shown in this range 2, 3, 5, and price is shown in this range 10, 5, 7. So what is the meaning of sum product? Means get the product of respective uh, values, that means 2 into 10 plus 3 into 5 plus 5 into 7, and get the grand total of all these products. That is what is known as sum product. Okay, all right. So now since we are already here, we'll take a look at the function. Sum product function needs only two arguments. It says array1. Array means it is a array is a range of data. So range of data is shown as F5 to F7. That means this is F5, F6 and F7. So from here to here, that is the array 1. What is the array 2? G5 to G7 shown in red. Okay, 10, 5 and 7. So you just give two arrays and it will multiply respectively 2 into 10 plus 3 into 5 and 5 into 7. That's all that needs to be done, and you will directly get the sum of the product. So usually while billing, what you do is you make 2 into 10 is 20, then you work out 3 into 5 is 15, then you work out 5 into 7 is so and so, and then go on adding the individual products. But here directly we could compute and get sum of products, right? So this is a useful function. Let us now come on to this function, which is called rand or random function. It has no argument. So you type only RAND and put two round brackets. So this function generates a random number between 0 and 1. Okay, between 0 and 1. So it will be obviously a decimal value 0 0.5, 0 0.4, 0 0.2, 0 0.3, 0 0.99. That's how it is going to produce. So, and it is going to be randomly produced. Each time you operate it, you are going to get different numbers. Okay, see here. Okay, so like this, you'll keep getting different numbers. Okay, so presently it is showing 5.8. Let us take a look at another thing. Now 0.58 probably it is not usable. Okay, a moment on where do you use random numbers? Okay, in all programming languages, there are special functions for generating random numbers. Why do we need them? They are pretty useful in gaming, or they are pretty useful in simulators. Okay, that means you want to simulate some values, and those values should not be predictable. Like in a game, if you are shooting someone, that person who is appearing to whom you want to shoot should appear randomly anywhere on the screen and you should be able to shoot him. So how does he come randomly at some place? So you have to give x and y coordinates which should come randomly. So you also don't know, the programmer also doesn't know, the system generates a random number. And likewise, we have a rand function which generates a random number between 0 and 1, and rand between function, you have to give the value. Okay, the first argument is bottom value, that means from 1 I have entered here to from 6. Okay, from 1 to 6. Why do we use it? This is very useful if you are playing a game where you use a dice. Okay, when you throw a die, what number do you get? It has 6 faces. So starting from 1 to 6, you may get any one number. So you can pretty much design a game and randomly generate any number between 1 and 6, and that is how we are given a range from 1 to 6. If you want to generate percentages between random numbers, you put it from 0 to 100, so you will get a random number of some percentage. So this is good for creating data also. You can create pretty much your own data set for practicing Excel, let us say, okay, for any other practical purpose you may have. Okay, now coming to the rounding functions, the number which is considered here is 123.432. Now you want to round it because it's too many digits, right? 4.432. So let's say you want only two digits. So 0.432 will become what? So the function used here is round up. What is the function? Round up. Up means what? When the digit is, and you need to only pass the number to it. Okay. The first argument is the number and the second argument is the number of digits. Okay. So we want two digits, for example. So now 123.432 and we want two digits, but because it is more than 430, so it will be rounded up to a higher value because it is a round up function. And as you can see, it has got rounded off to 123.43. Exactly similar function is similar function is round down. So same way 123.432 number will be rounded down to two digits. That means what will happen? 432 will become 430. In short, it will become 43. So round down makes the number to 123.43, round up makes the number to 123.44. And then there is another function called simply round. Okay, so now you need to give number of digits here also. It's very simple. So this is the number and how many digits you want. So it is going to round it to, let us see what does it round it to. It has rounded it to 123.4. So anything more than 43, it is going to round it to the higher value. That's it. Pretty useful functions in maths, right? Although there are so many other functions, you could take cube root, you could take cubes, I mean to the power and so on. But that is if you're doing some kind of work related to mathematics, only you will be needing them. For the normal data analysis, etc., you would not be needing the other mathematical functions. All right, let's now move on to statistical functions. Okay, a small caution. For those who are not familiar with statistics at all, they may not understand the terminologies like variance or standard deviation or median or mode, etc. Although most of these, I think, are covered at the board level. That means for the 12th standard, if there is statistics or mathematics, these things are probably covered. But it's okay if you have forgotten, doesn't matter. Excel has got formulas for it where you need not do any thinking. Just put the formula and put the data range. That's all. It's a pretty simple formula. Here we got an age of employees. Okay, there are a couple of employees over here. You can see. Okay, all right. So there are 15 employees. Okay, it can show here as count 15. There are 15 employees, and we would like to find the statistical figures of these, like what is their average, what is their mean, what is their mode, what is their median, what is the variance. That means what is the variance of age amongst all the employees. Okay, so here you can see the formulas are very easy. You just write the name of the formula as the term used in statistics: average, mode, median. Now STDEV standard deviation dot S. So dot S stands for sample. Okay, standard deviation of a sample data set. That means the full data of student EMPs may be 500 EMPs, but out of 500 EMPs we have taken a sample data. Okay, now I'm not going to explain why do we take sample, etc. That's part of statistics. So when we pick up sample data and try to figure out the average age of the overall population, that means 500 students are there, you pick up randomly 15 and find out their average, and you can say that the average age of all these 500 students is so and so. That is what is known as standard deviation of a sample. Okay, and similarly standard deviation of population. So STDEV.P is a standard deviation of population. It means you collect the data of each and every person, that is what is known as population, and then take out the figure. So standard deviation for the entire 500 students, you take all their age data and find out the standard deviation. That will be an exact and perfect standard deviation. Okay, but in statistics, when the number of population is very large and it is very difficult to collect the data, we generally use sample. That means you pick up few and generalize on the overall. Okay, so standard deviation for sample, standard deviation of for population. Same way, variance is for standard sample and variance for population. Okay, and now you will see what is this in bracket age written over here. Age is nothing but, you can see here, yes, earlier I have covered age is the name given to the range over here. So age is used. So formulas look pretty simple, right? Average within bracket age, that means average of this data range, and everywhere it is same. That's all, nothing to explain. Average age, mode age, median age, and so on, all the way to variance of population of age. And that's how you can get quickly the entire statistics. The main statistical figures of a data range can be quickly worked out in this manner. That's all for this video. More on practical examples of all this formula in the next video. And yes, if you find this useful, click the like. If you wish to catch several such videos, hit subscribe. For notifications, ring the bell and share this so that others too can watch. Bye.